Welcome! In this video, I will add polygon shapes to a leaflet map in an RShiny app to create this. A map will be set up with the catchment areas then added as shapes to the map. When a user hovers over an Academy area, it will tell them the catchment area that shape relates to. We will then also add circles to the map representing where each Academy is located. The data which I will use in this project is contained within a GeoJSON file. The GeoJSON file is full of coordinates, and effectively we are going to say that we're going to put a dot at this coordinate, then put a dot at the next coordinate, and then join the two dots with a line. As I will be plotting many dots, there will be many lines joining up the dots, which will create the catchment area shape, and the shape is referred to as a polygon. To save some time, I have already set up the RShiny app and removed the placeholder text relating to diagrams. I have also changed the wording in title panel to Aberdeen Academy's catchment areas. Let's now gather our data. I will use data provided by Aberdeen City Council in Scotland in the UK, and I will also provide a link in the video description to the page which I am showing in front of you just now. One point to note is, as I am not using my own data, I'm using third-party data, I need to check the license. And if we click on the custom license details here, we see that Aberdeen City Council is providing the data under an open government license in the UK, but they require that we provide an attribute. And I will add this attribute to our app at the end of this video. Now we can go on and gather our data. And to do that, we go down further on this page, and in this section where it says View API Resources, we click the drop down, and this section which says GeoJSON, all we are going to have to do is copy the wording. Click on the clipboard symbol. Back in our Shiny app, to read in the GeoJSON file, all we need to do is add a new package. So under Library Shiny, I am going to add in library rgdal. Underneath, where I've put a section called Gather Data, I now need to bring in that GeoJSON into a data frame. I will call that data frame Academies, and I need to feed into it readOGR, open brackets, open double quote marks, and then between the double quote marks, I just do Ctrl+V to paste in the GeoJSON link which I'd acquired from the council's website. That's all I need to do. And the data will then automatically all be pulled in for us. However, I always like to see the data that I'm playing with, and if at the moment you were to press Run App, you will see that the app loads, and all it contains at the moment is our heading, Aberdeen Academy's catchment areas. If we close our app, you will notice that the data does not appear in the environment. Therefore, we can't see the data. Therefore, I always find it useful to set up a separate R script. So File, New File, R script. Into that R script, all I need to do is copy across from line 8 to line 11, which I've got in my app, and then paste that into my R script. And now, if I highlight it all and press Run, you will see that the Academy's data frame now appears in the global environment, and if I click on it, you can see the GeoJSON data from the file. So in data, we have various items, and then we have polygons, and this provides a list of coordinates. Back in the app, I can now concentrate on setting up the map onto which the polygon shapes will be placed. So to do that, back up in Add Packages, I now need to add the package leaflet, as I will place the catchment areas onto a leaflet map. So library, bracket, leaflet, into the main panel. We need to tell the app that we want to output a map. So to do that, we put in leaflet, output, and then open double quote marks, and in between the quote marks we need to give our map a name, and I will call my map schools. So each time now that I use the word schools in our code, I am always referring to the map. So we've told the app we want to output a map, but we now need to actually create the map. And to do that, we go down to the server section. In the server section, I type in output, $, and the name of our map, schools. Then we need to feed into that the render of leaflet. Inside the brackets, we need to set up a set of curly brackets. So curly brackets inserted. In between these two curly brackets, I'm going to insert a few empty rows. To create the map, I type in schools and I say we are going to feed in leaflet, brackets, onto the next row. Again, we are saying onto schools. I need to add tiles to the map. Open brackets, and I'm adding tiles to the map called schools. So we need to put in schools again. Now in the next row, we can start adding our catchment areas. And the name of the shape representing the catchment areas is called a polygon. So all we do is say that onto our map schools, we feed in add polygon. Into the add polygon section, again, we are adding the polygon to schools. So we need to type in schools. And we also need to tell the map where to find the data to be plotted. And our data, if you recall, earlier we set up and called our data academies. So after schools, in our add polygons, we put data equals academies, comma. I would like each catchment area to stand out, so I'm going to colour them red. So all I need to do is say colour equals double quotes and type in the word red. And it's also going to be helpful to the user if they can hover over a catchment area and see the name of the catchment area. And to do that, all I need to do is type in label equals. Now, I'm going to go back to the GeoJSON file for a moment so you can see where I'm going to get the name to paste in. So we go back to academies. In the data section, you will see there's an item called names, and this contains the names of the catchment area. So that's what I need to get to, is this item called name. So back in our RShiny app, after label, I do the tilde sign. Then I say that I want to paste 0, open brackets, and into that I will type double quote marks, then academy, catchment, colon, space, Then I do a comma and add in name, which we saw in the GeoJSON file, which contained the names of our catchment areas. So I type name. Let's now see what happens when we run our app. There we go, it looks good. We've managed to plot all our catchment areas. They're coloured red, and if you hover over one of them, it says Academy Catchment, and it's labelled with the name of the catchment area. In this case, the Bridge of Dawn, Aberdeen. Personally, I find these outlines a bit too thick, so I'm going to reduce them to make them a bit slimmer. I also think it would be helpful if when a user hovers over an area, it pops out a bit more. So those are a couple of amendments I'm now about to do. So if I close my app, back in the Add Polygons section, after label, name, closing bracket, I put a comma, and then I will type in weight equals 1, which will make all the outline lines thinner, comma, and then to make the area pop out a bit more, I just type in highlight, options equals, and then we type highlight options again, so highlight options. Into the brackets, I want the outline of each shape to be blue. So I'm going to put in colour equals blue. This will all be a lot clearer when I rerun the app in a moment. Then put a comma. Then I want it to look like it's coming forward. So we type in bring to front equals, and we put in true, comma, and this time when the user hovers over it, I want it to really pop out. So I want that line to be heavier than the lines relating to the other catchment areas. So this time I'm going to type in weight equals 2. Okay, now when I run my app, you will see what happens. Okay, our map has loaded, and as you can see, the outlines of all the catchment areas are now thinner, and if I hover over an area, such as the Bridge of Dawn again, it pops out in blue. It just highlights it a bit more for the end user. There is so much more you can do with the polygons, but for the moment, I will leave them be. And I'm going to go back to the app, and I'm now going to turn my attention to adding circles to the map to indicate where the academies actually are located. So if I close my app, back in our RShiny app, I could not locate the location of the schools in the GeoJSON file which was brought in. Therefore, I have set up a separate Excel file, and into that Excel file I have put the 11 academies which there currently are in Aberdeen, and also listed their latitudes and their longitudes. To bring in that Excel file, I need a new package, and that package is going to be readxl. So library bracket readxl. Under gather data, I will bring in the schools. I'm just going to call my data frame plot schools, because that's what we are going to do with the data. Then feed in read underscore xl brackets double quote marks. Now, an important point to note is that I have saved the Excel file in the same place as my RShiny app. So here in my desktop, I've got a folder called R Projects, and into that I have got my RShiny app, which I had named Academies. into this folder, I have also put the Excel spreadsheet called Aberdeen Academies. Back in my app, I just need to put in the name of my Excel spreadsheet and Aberdeen Academies. And I don't need any file path quoted because it's in the same folder as my app. What I now need to do is add circles to my map. So back down in my render leaflet section, I'll insert an extra row and I'm going to type in schools, because onto the schools we want to add the circles for the academy locations. Add circles. We again are adding it to the map, so we need to write in schools, comma. So just go back briefly and remind you of the setup of the Excel spreadsheet. We've got the longitude in a column called longitude. We've got the latitude in a column called latitude. And we've got the name of the school in a column called name. So back in our RShiny app, schools, we need to tell add circles where to get the latitude point. So we can type in lat equals, and we know that our data is in plot schools, dollar, and the column is called latitude. Remember up here we called our data plot schools. Go back down. For longitude we say LNG equals, and again we tell it to go to plot schools, dollar longitude. I want to give each dot a name, so I will put label equals and the name of the school, so plot schools, dollar name. And I also want to colour the circle blue to make it stand out. So I just type in colour equals double quote marks blue. Now, if we run our app, hopefully we have our catchment areas and our circles all plotted. Looks good. We've got our catchment areas and the blue dots representing the schools, and if I can just zoom in a bit more. So for example now, if I zoom in on the Bucksburn area, the Bucksburn catchment area pops out and we can see the dot as well, representing where the academy is located within the catchment area. The only other thing I will now do is be polite and give Aberdeen City Council the attribution that they requested. So up back here in the UI section under main panel, I will just put in text output, and into double quote marks I need to give my text output a name, so I'll just call it attribution. A comma after main panel before my text output. Now I can go down to the server section, and after output school, so you should see the curly bracket and the bracket relating to output school, and now I can put in my attribution text. So I type in output $, and I called my text area attribution, so I type in attribution, and into that I need to feed in render text. Inside the brackets I need to put curly brackets, double quote marks, go back to the council's website, go back up to their license area, and I am just going to copy the entire license because that's what they're looking for me to essentially do. Now please note they have put this strange phrase here, insert year, but I don't know the date of their database, so I can't insert a year. All I can do is go by exactly what they've typed, which is insert year. So we'll copy their license information. Back inside the RShiny app, I just need to paste the attribution. And I know from running this earlier that it doesn't like this copyright sign. It also doesn't like their quote mark, so I need to remove their quote mark there and come back along to the start of copyright and remove their quote mark there. Click the Run App. And there is our app running with our relevant attribution. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to hear more from me, please click the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.